Hey everybody, what's up? This is Sweezy's World. It could be your world. You don't know. Listen, I want to thank you for stopping by. Give me a few moments of your day. I appreciate it. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I tried to, and I hope you did too. Hope everybody had a barbecue. Me and barbecues. But I like to talk about things that interest me. That's what I do, and hopefully along the line they will interest you. And that's just how I do things. And here lately, and probably from now on, we'll start every show, every little, video with a small little Bible verse. And just I think it's due, and we need to get back to Jesus, and that's just all there is to it. So, okay, without further ado, I'm going to catch this here because I'm not altogether familiar with it. It's not very long. It says, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles." That's Isaiah 40:31. Amen. Good thing to remember. Here's a good thing to remember: that someone's looking out for you and me. He loves you, he loves me, no matter who you are. So just keep that in mind. Now, you may not have to love him, but he's going to love you anyways. It just is what it is. All right, the Doomsday Clock. Okay, I want to talk a little bit on the Doomsday Clock, and this kind of enters in on the Doomsday Clock a little. Scientists in Chicago, I think the Institute. I forget exactly what there was, but they're talking about the ocean currents, right? They're showing signs of collapse. The ocean currents. This could be a major global climate event, and they're talking we're not talking hundreds of years down the road. They're talking in less than maybe 5 years down the road, because it's already changing. Could be less, could be a year. We don't know for sure, but it's coming. Because this is just what it is. And that could bring you rising sea levels. That could create extreme freezing colds in Europe because of the climate change. It could make the U.S. just extremely hot on a year-round basis. Think about 100-degree weather as a norm. As a norm in America. I don't know about you, but I kind of don't like that idea. And that's what these people in Chicago, they're also part of the Doomsday Clock scientific community. And they're also telling us that the Doomsday Clock went from 90 seconds to 89 seconds to midnight. Now, some people sit there, what's 1 second? Oh man, 1 second could be a big, big deal. We're talking globothermonuclear war, and we're talking only 89 seconds to midnight, which midnight represents Armageddon. And how close can that be? That's pretty darn close. When it moves a second closer, that means we're kind of in deep kimchi. I'm telling you, if these countries don't get their act together, man, if they don't get their act together, they could end up blowing up the entire planet and ending life as we know it on Earth. People have got this in their head when people talk about atomic bombs going off or hydrogen bombs going off. They've got it in their mindset as what went off at Hiroshima. They see pictures and they say, well, that's probably about what it was like or what it will be like if they do it now. That's so wrong. The bombs that went off in Nagasaki and Hiroshima were 15 kiloton, maybe up to maybe a 21 kiloton bomb. We're talking nowadays 80 megaton bombs, 1,000 times more powerful than either one of those bombs dropped on Hiroshima. Imagine that. That's almost unfathomable. That is so much power and so much destruction that if they dropped just one of these bombs, say on Manhattan, the island of Manhattan, would vaporize the entire island. Gone. That's how, excuse me, but that's how powerful these bombs are. People don't get that. People don't understand that the new technology today can fit 1,000 times more powerful explosive in a 4,000-pound warhead in a missile, an intercontinental ballistic missile, and fire that puppy up in the sky. And if they had several of them, they could shoot several of them. We got a lot of people out there that don't like us. We have a few people out there trying really, really hard to acquire this kind of weapon. And Russia's been kind of helping them along the line. Now just think of what would happen, say Iran, say if they did get the bomb. We're not talking a Hiroshima-like bomb here. We're talking a big major blockbuster. You know what? We're talking something that'll change your whole life around in a skinny. And buddy, that's less than a New York minute. So it's something to think about. I get it. What's going to happen is going to happen. We can kind of prevent some things from happening or at least postpone them. Only the guy upstairs knows what's going to go on. If he allows thermonuclear bombs all over the planet, then he'll allow it. If he doesn't want that to happen, then you can rest assured it's not going to happen. But we don't know that. I don't know that. So we have to mentally prepare for it, and we have to make sure we've got everything we need that we can live through something like that if we so choose. A lot of people won't choose to live through it. They get really close to military bases, nuclear missile bases. They get really close, or as close as you can get, to atomic power plants. It's the same. And when Katie Bar the door hits, it's going to be Katie Bar the freaking door, man. It's going to be FUBAR, big time. And I'm just telling you, be prepared. Always be prepared for what's going to happen. This doomsday clock, it's been up and down. It's been like 2 and 3 minutes before midnight. It was a whole lot safer then than it was, Even back during the Cuban Missile Crisis, it wasn't nowhere near what we've got now. I mean, folks, we have never been more close in the existence of humanity to being annihilated by atomic weapons or hydrogen bombs. We've never been this close in history. So keep that in mind. All right. Prepare. All I can do is tell you to prepare. That's all you can do. So listen, thank you for being here, right? Until next time, I appreciate you being here. You can use a thumbs up if you liked any of this. If you want to see more of it, let me know in the comments. Doo-doo's going to happen whether we want it to happen or not. So it's always good to be ready for it. If it happens to be that type of the end of the world and the doomsday clock hits midnight, it's all she wrote. It is what it is. Could that come upon us within a year? Sure could. Look, this is 6 months into this year. We've already dropped 1 second. We were 90 seconds at the beginning of the year. Now we're 89 seconds. It's only halfway through. It could drop to 88, 87. It could drop 80. It just depends. So I'm telling you, get ready for it as best you can, mentally. You got to be mentally prepared. So, all right, then. Hey, look, until next time, something below for you. I truly mean it. Be safe out there, okay? Keep your head on a swivel. Prepare. Get everything that you need. And until next time, all right, we'll catch you later.